Hey everyone, we are back at it. I'm Teresa Dufour from Teresa Dufour Media, and I am chatting with the legendary, the beauty queen, the former reporter, the author. You've got quite a title, the one and only Erin Logan. Great to see you again, Erin.
Teresa, it's always a pleasure. I love that you give me all these titles. I'm really excited to dig into this topic that we put on our social media. We wanted to hear people's dating stories, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I'm going to start with you, Teresa, because you have
Thanks. Let's do that.
found your happily ever after. And you guys are a true team. We talked about that a little bit last time. So before we get started, I want to hear what happened. I mean, you guys met while you were working. So tell your story.
It was the craziest thing. My husband walked through the studio doors while I was doing the show, and it was nutty. It goes back to like 2012. We were doing a segment about safe driving. It was teen driving, whatever it might have been. He had bought an advertising package with the station, and we had a segment together. And then I did a couple other stories with him. But the first time we met, it's on YouTube, like the whole thing. It's crazy.
Wow.
I remember after the segment, my mother was like, "He's kind of cute." I mean, I was probably 34 at the time, and his great grandmother was like, "Oh, something was going on there." And it really, I mean, there was chemistry for sure, but we both had some, let's say, loose ends we had to tie up before we actually started.
Totally.
Right.
Got it. So did he say that he felt the spark immediately? I feel like everybody loves Teresa. You know, you had a list a mile long of guys dying to date you, rightfully so.
I don't know about that.
Did you guys kind of compare notes on how the spark was there?
Yeah, I mean, we both agreed there was something there. And the funny thing is, we did the segment. I helped him out with another segment. He's like, "Hey, I owe you dinner. This worked out great." And he thought it was like a business dinner or a lunch or whatever, but I ignored the email. And then like 4 months later, he sent me the email. He's like, "Hey, cleaning out my email. And it looks like I still owe you lunch." And I ignored it again.
Teresa, and he kept, okay, so then what?
So I ignored it again. And then once my loose ends, we'll just say we're tied up. This was like 3 or 4 months later, I sent him the email back. "Hey, just noticed this email. Hope this offer still stands."
Oh, all right.
And then like 30 seconds later, he wrote back. He said, "Yes, absolutely. We went to our favorite restaurant, Roma in Oakville, Connecticut. And we knew at that lunch, it was over." He, in fact, called his best friend and said, "I met the girl I'm going to marry." And I did the same exact thing on my way home with my best friend, Dina. So we knew.
Wow. So, I mean, that's interesting because, again, I hate the word timing. But that brings up a timing question. You were both tying up loose ends. Right. Maybe you didn't want to go when he first invited you. But qualities and values are obviously something that when we're younger, we really don't think about all that much.
Sure.
You know, who's hot, who's this, who's that. All of that is the superficial parts of a relationship that we really obsess over when we're young. But you guys are a team. And a lot of emails that I got from people that wanted to chime in about their dating stories. One guy actually wrote that he hasn't found his happily ever after. And that a lot of people that, you know, he might find this girl really beautiful or really cool, but they're not, they don't complement each other. That was the word he used. He said, "We don't complement each other. We don't bring out the best in each other," because in the initial stages, everyone's on their best behavior. So I don't know if you want to share, but what does Brandon do on, you know, on a day where Teresa is just a hot mess, like miserable?
He takes over. Like he, you know, he's the general manager and owner of the next street. So he gets into boss mode. That's what he does. Yeah. He just, if I'm having a bad day, he takes the kids, he handles it. But there are days he might have a bad day and I take the kids. And that's what the partnership is all about. I mean, it's not always fun. Let's be honest. It's hard work sometimes. To have a successful marriage, I think. But what I would say is that in the very beginning, it should be easy. Like it should be super
Right.
easy. You don't have a mortgage. You don't have children to worry about. You don't have any of this. If you guys aren't having fun 1, 2, 3, 4 years into it, it's
Not good.
probably not good. You know,
Right.
he's probably not the right match. I mean,
Sure.
would you say in your experience, like once the
Oh,
fight
I've had
starts-
experiences.
Well, I mean, what happens though? Like at what point do you say, no more, this is not for me, this is not happening?
Right. And you know what? It's funny because I never was the one to walk away when, you know, for example, I wrote about it in my book. It was a long relationship where you can have like two great people.
Yeah.
And there's just different values. Like I love to work. I love working. I don't care if I hit the lottery or married a billionaire. I like working. And this person didn't really love that I worked a lot and that I taught and I did the news and, you know, sold jewelry for fun. It's like, why do you got to do this? Why do you got to do that? But I don't know. It's like, that's what lights my fire per se. And, you know, your parents have been married for how long? 40 something years?
46, 47 years. Yeah.
Okay. Mine are going to be at 45, but you know what? I can honestly say no one wears the pants. And so they both are they are equals, and they would get frustrated with me that I would stick around and maybe not be so nice to this person or them not be so nice to me because we both had different goals and values that we wanted to be essential in the relationship. That person may not have wanted a child at the time. I did. I mean, things like that. You cannot force another person to have children if they've already had them and have been there, done that. So
you don't want them at all. I mean, that's probably a deal breaker, and you're not going to,
sure.
I mean, ultimately you don't change people.
No.
I mean, you might want to try and you try hard, but this is, you know, people are who they are. And there's really, you can't go into it with the hope of, I'm going to change them, because you're probably not going to.
No, not at our age anyway. I mean, maybe, you know, someone in their 20s, you know, that might have a lot of issues or problems or things that you think you can help them with, whether it be addiction or something like that. That's one thing. But when you get in your 30s, 40s, people are kind of set in their ways. And I'm sure there's things that people would want to change about me or about you, but you're right. People are who they are. And if they have those core values and qualities that make Teresa tick or Aaron tick, then that's what it's all about. I've been like, everyone's making fun of me. They're like, do you date? Do you do it? I kind of took a break from the whole thing. You know, getting out of the business, transitioning into a new career path. It's hard. And other people that are single said to me, what should I do? How do I put myself out there? I feel the same way. I don't want to really do the online thing. You and I mentioned we talk about that at a later date. But I don't know, Teresa, what do you suggest for people that are really serious? And I think you have to be serious about meeting the right one.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I don't think online dating is bad, because there's a big pool to choose from. And I mean, this is coming from someone who's never done it, but I haven't my friends like swipe, and sometimes it's fun to swipe through their phones and do it. But I don't know. I think you can't compromise. You don't want to settle, or you're going to have like a miserable life. Like, I don't know. I think we're talking about this today because we've been through it. We've been through it.
I'm going through it now.
We're going through it. I mean, I didn't get married till I was 34, 35, and that's fine. It doesn't matter. We were career driven, and that's
right.
I mean, could you imagine marrying the guy you were dating at 22?
I was engaged at 21.
Okay, stop. So let's talk about that at the moment.
Well, hold on. It's really funny because that person, we both were so career driven.
Yeah.
And that is really, really young. I wasn't ready, very immature, not ready, period. His parents got married really young as well. And I wanted to get married young and have kids and all that. Great guy, awesome person, very successful. And who knows, years later, we really had a lot of the same goals and values, family oriented, wanted kids, wanted to work hard.
But timing, that goes back to the timing. It really has to be just right for both people at the same time. And that's kind of the challenge behind it.
Sure.
So did you give back the ring?
It was it was his grandmother's.
Oh, so
he had it
yeah. Oh my
reset. Yes.
that was
It was reset from, the stone. Yes. And I was engaged at 37. And yes, I gave the ring back. It's the right thing to do. It was more of like a mutual thing. You know, two different people, different goals, already been married, already had kids, loves where he lived. I still wanted to kind of continue on with the career and maybe move elsewhere. So again, it has to all line up. And the one thing I will give for advice, and I'm going to take my own advice, is you're right. If it's not fun or there's problems or issues very early on,
walk away before you get way too deep into it. Don't you think?
Again, you can't force someone. If you're somebody who likes to be phone called all day, you can't if somebody doesn't like to do that or they're busy, when we were working, doing the news with a set schedule, we can't just answer 50 million text messages or go back and forth and all that. That's a whole nother topic. But people have certain wants and needs. And I feel, if you're upfront in the beginning and you make we all have something wrong or things that bug the other person. I'm sure
you speak for yourself.
Oh, no, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't love everything about your husband. I'm sure he doesn't love that. That would be weird. No one's perfect. But if you make your things known early on, like, hey, I'm not a big texter, or I don't like this or that, and they don't respect it, then there you go. Right.
What are the real qualities that you are looking for? What is important to you, Erin?
All right. So, remember that song? I don't want to sing. I don't want to scare people. Okay. Remember that song, Cheerleader? Ooh, I think that I found myself.
Yeah, you did sing. But that's what you want? Someone that just roots you on? I get it.
No. Okay. I want to be that person's cheerleader, and I want them to be mine. I want them to bring out the best in me and me to bring out the best in them. Life is hard. Things happen. People get sick. You want somebody who likes and loves you, not for what Teresa looks like or Erin looks like or any of the superficial things. Somebody that's legit your best friend, somebody who will call you out. Erin, you looked and sounded stupid. You should. No, I don't mean like, look, I mean, you got in a fight with somebody, or maybe you acted inappropriately. You were rude to your kid. I don't know, something like that. Just that keeps it real, babe. You're getting a little too thin, or sure. Maybe you should, or opposite, or you know what I mean? You want that person to bring out the best in you and not hold you back. Right. If you said to your husband, I want to open a second business before we even get this first one up and running, he might be like, I think you're cuckoo. Like, we got to get one thing done at a time. Right. But he'd listen and he would not laugh at you and shut it down.
No, and that he is a cheerleader. He is my biggest supporter. So that you hit the nail on the head with that one. I think that's crucial. You have to like the other person too. You have to want to spend time with them. Sidebar there. You kind of have to get along.
Yeah, that's important. A best friend. I mean, your parents, I don't know them. I haven't met them. I've seen photos. They look like they remind me of my parents. Two good people. I mean, my mother will be like, you're driving me crazy. Goodbye. I'm going upstairs. And my dad will be like, you're nagging me. You were a kindergarten teacher too long. And you're talking to me like Donnie with their, Massachusetts accent. Donnie, you're doing this wrong or that. Their accents are out of control. Teener, where's the keys to the Honda? Oh. Anyway, yeah, they're adorable, but they definitely keep each other in line for different reasons.
Sure. And I think you also have to pick your battles. I mean,
yes, you have to be giving.
Gonna win everything. And if it's not that important, just stop. Just that I have learned that in my marriage. Just stop nitpicking. Stop.
Right.
Everything's good. Everything's real good. You just have to, unless it's really a problem and bothering you, take it easy. That's what I learned. So
here's one question I have for you. What is your favorite quality about your husband? And what do you think he would say his favorite quality is about you?
Oh, that's interesting. I would say my favorite quality in him is that he's very genuine. He's charming and honest. But he's also like the fixer. He's the fixer for all of us. My family, his family, like everyone just calls Brandon when they need
Aw, that's
something
good.
fixed or help, because he's also the smartest man I know, and
He is very smart.
he's
Very.
so intelligent, and he's just way like he gets everything. So I'm grateful that he helps my mom with the internet. I'm grateful that he helped
He needs
my
to help
sister
us.
get a job. Like he's he's the fixer, and I know it probably bugs him because he thinks people take him for granted, but that's not the case. We're so grateful for him, and he has a lot of patience. He has a lot of
So
patience.
what would he say about you? You have a lot of good things to bring to the table.
He would not say I have patience. He would definitely not say I have patience. He'd probably he would probably say that I'm a good mother. I'm sure he appreciates that we're raising our children together, and they're turning out okay at the moment. I don't know where they are, but I think they're fine.
Yeah, I don't hear any craziness in the background, so that's good.
No, they're with a babysitter. We're okay. But yeah, I think he would say I'm a good mother. And he used to say Teresa LaBarbera was a lot of fun. You're getting a little too serious, and as I get older. But we would always have great times together. So, and I'm a really good party planner and organizer. So I think he appreciates that kind of thing too, keeping everybody in check. So there's, we have totally different qualities, and that's what makes it come together.
I agree. I think that's awesome. And for all the people that are giving up on love or dating, don't. You got to put yourself out there, right? You got to try.
Absolutely. I mean, and I want you to find someone. I want you to be happy. I want this all to come together. Like, I mean, I don't know.
You never know.
A dating Aaron segment or anything, but you never know who might be watching.
Oh, you're killing me.
Sorry.
No, but you're right. I mean, I went for a long time, just, everybody, I think during the pandemic, everyone was kind of negative, like, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this. Or it was hard to meet people in person.
Like with masks on. How do you even know what they look like?
Yeah, you don't even know if if somebody has a miserable smile. I want somebody that smiles and is happy and that. But I don't know. I think this woman that I work with, Wendy, she's a life coach, and she always says, you're going to get burned 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 or 10 more times, but you have to put yourself out there and give it a shot and be willing to, maybe take a risk.
There you go.
And if those qualities, like we said, are things that are deal breakers, then that's okay. Just thanks. It was a great date.
Fish in the sea, right? Just keep walking. Don't settle.
But I do think that if there's somebody that one of the questions we asked was, is there somebody that you wish maybe you gave a little more of a chance? You went on a date with them or two, and you liked some of the important qualities, but little things were maybe Yeah, I mean, why not? What should be the cutoff? If there's no drama and you kind of like the person, that was a question somebody asked me. What should the cutoff be? I don't know. I guess if you're bored and the conversation's boring and
you're not having fun. Like, it just goes back to the beginning. It should be easy and fun. I say at least before you get married or engaged. If you're fighting prior to that.
Yeah. Bye-bye. As my little Rocco, my nephew. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So, all right, we're hitting the tip of the iceberg here, Erin.
Yes.
Dating and stories, and I think there's a lot more to come. I mean, online dating, pandemic dating, like this, just the list goes on. And I would like to hear some of your horror stories. So
yes, there's one. I don't even want to give it away yet. So the next time we talk, a really dear friend of mine who keeps it really, really, really real with me, to the point where he's like, you need to gain a little weight here in this area. Like, he keeps it real.
Okay, that's appreciative.
Yeah, he's really cool. Your makeup didn't look too good. Like little things that,
you need an honest friend.
Yes. And he's honest, but we're going to talk about texting and the etiquette and messages misread. I mean, there were situations where I was like, Charlie, I don't like, what does this mean? You've been married, your wife, and they're like you guys. They trust each other. They're great people. And he'd even show his wife, Logan wants, like, what? He's like, baby girl, no, don't like this.
I feel like when you have to decipher a text message, there's like, you probably a great
he
thing.
said he would like to talk about in the initial stages why maybe you shouldn't text as much and maybe you get to talk to the person, because I might read something very different than you might.
I mean, are
So-
there rules? Are you allowed to text like after a date? Like, I don't really know.
I don't either. Right. Do I text this person? Do I text her 50 times a day? It's weird. And I have guy friends that have asked me, I really like this girl. Should I text her? But I feel like,
Yeah,
go
I
with
feel
your
like that's
gut.
a good idea. Go ahead.
Right. But to actually get to know the person and like, I don't like that. I feel like sitting down and talking. And then if you're on a level where you know the person a little bit better and you want to have this deep conversation via text, sure, go for it. I don't know. But we'll talk about that next time.
All right.
I can't wait.
Dating advice from
Yes.
Erin and Teresa. It's
Love
ironic,
it.
I think. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye. Bye-bye.